different angles, saying the same thing. Really drill in this point. Nainam chintati shastrani, nainam kahate bhava, nachayam vedayanya na shoshurati bhava. The soul never becomes by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. So, not to cut to pieces by any weapon, Arjuna, that you have in your chariot, by any of your sharp arrows, or by your sword. Cannot cut the soul. And the soul cannot burn by the soul cannot be killed by the Vayu Astra. None of these weapons that you have can kill the soul. So don't worry about Krishna. It's his idea. So, and Arjuna says, but when they're burning house harms the living entities who are inside of the house. So, by the harming of the body, and then Krishna says, no.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me now? Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can hear you, but I think I don't know the other people's.
Yeah, Chaitanya Prema Prabhu is, I think he's struggling with his network.
Yes.
I'm sure he will get it right very soon. Okay, back. Chaitanya Prema Prabhu, please, you can continue. I've given you the host now. You're on YouTube, so you can take off from here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, the Prabhu beside you, please kindly request him to put on the quota because you are on live YouTube. So we have to be conscious of the dress code because it's been looked upon as all over the global space. We're on YouTube, so devotees dress code. I told Shitan Prema last week that he should inform all of the students that they should have a dress code that will reflect us. Shitan Prema Prabhu.
And so they get elevation. Yes, sir. Before they come, America interested only in the oil, but the inner soldiers may not fully understand the depths of the depravity of their own government. You know, and so they may still feel really bound. So they go. They will go to some higher planet. They will go back to that.
You can be heard. You can go ahead.
Some
Chitan Prema Prabhu, you can go ahead.
That's also true. But that's not referring to that. It's an analogy. Someone is blind in power, and he falls into addiction. He will also fall into addiction. Dharma is not so easy. You know, there's different circumstances. You can take different statements, but you have to understand the context of how to apply. Soldiers, they won't go back to Catholic if they're killed.
Chitan Prema, we can hear you. Go ahead. Chitan Prema, we can hear. The student can hear you. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, we can hear you. You can go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please, we can hear you.
Hare Krishna.
They can hear me now.
Well, they're
Hare Krishna.
not.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhu, you supposed to have pity.
Hare Krishna.
Don't go fast because what I go from go and come back. I'm suffering serious network epilepsy. Network epilepsy. Yeah. Seriously, disorganize all my mood. I'm coming to this class and you
don't have enough credit. That's
down. Network epilepsy.
You have enough credit, you get enough network.
Hare Krishna. So
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Talisman Bhakti.
Well, obviously, in every case, there's going to be some different blend, because there's Anishtam, Yishram, Nishram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
there's
Krishna.
different kinds of karma. And sometimes the bad karma will take hold, sometimes the good karma, and sometimes there will be a mixture.
Yeah, there are some other things.
So,
Speaker.
yeah, although there's no karma yuda, that's true. And the persons are not, at least a lot of them may not be.
Please give me a few minutes.
They have a
Some
martial
program is
spirit,
playing.
and so
Okay. Yeah, Hare Krishna, you are welcome today for today's section of the Bhakti Sastri. At least it is clear that I've been suffering a lot of network problems here. Yesterday, our program was cut off halfway. And this morning, you can see me battling. And somehow or the other, the universe has allowed us. So let us continue from where we stop. So once again, you are welcome. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
By the time I get back to base in Ghana, I think it will be better because everything is there within my control. I understand the terrain there. I'm like a visitor here, and everything is just, I'm at the mercy of whatever is available here. So this is what is happening. So yesterday, we were talking about Arjuna's doubt and Arjuna's reluctance to fight. And Krishna started speaking. And Krishna told Arjuna how it is not very learned. Learned men do not lament for the body and stuff like that. So today we're going to continue from where we stopped. First, Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, but Krishna did not accept Arjuna's proposal first. He let him know that it is not acceptable. Sorry, I'm trying to work on my screen again. Sure. Hare Krishna. Oh, trying to share my screen and I don't know again. Hare Krishna. So we're trying to talk about how Krishna did not accept Arjuna's first move of surrender. Because in text 7, Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, that is confused, that is instructing. But Krishna did not accept immediately, so he tested Arjuna's determination. So Arjuna continued to surrender in verse 8 and 9. And now Krishna started smiling. This is text 10. Krishna smiled and he started speaking. So from verse 11 to verse 30, Krishna is going to explain to Arjuna that even though Dharma Shastra is higher than Artha Shastra, still higher than Dharma Shastra is Jnana Shastra. So Krishna used very strong words to reveal to Arjuna that his understanding is not very high. That he's talking like a learned man, but all his talks are simply on the bodily platform. So Krishna is going to take Arjuna beyond the bodily platform. Now, that is what is called Jnana Shastra. So let us read number 10 now, test 10 and see. O descendant of Bharata, at that time, Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. Krishna is smiling tauntingly. He's taunting Arjuna. So you are talking like a learned man. Now you are surrendering. Eh? How is it that suddenly a friend is becoming a disciple? Won't you go to Dronacharya and very great acharyas, Vyasadeva, and take shelter of them as your guru? Why are you trying to accept me as your guru? So immediately, Arjuna registered his intention more clearly in verse 9, where in verse 8, he surrendered himself more. And Krishna saw that he was determined to surrender. Then at that time, Sanjaya told Dhritarashtra that, look, you are thinking that Arjuna is going to leave the battlefield without fighting, and therefore you're happy. That is not true. Don't be happy now, because Arjuna is Parantapa. Parantapa means one who can conquer his enemies in battle. So he is only wanting more direction, more conviction from Krishna. So Krishna smiled in this verse, saying that, oh, so truly a friend has become a disciple. The mood changed. He smiled. After smiling sometimes, he became very serious. That means he has to enter in the mood of a guru. A guru doesn't joke anyhow with his disciples. He has to assume the position of an authority. And Krishna was trying to assume that position as an authority towards a friend, very close, intimate friend. So he started smiling. And let's see, in the purport, Prabhupada's purport, we read it. The talk was going on between intimate friends, namely the Urisikesa and Dudakesha. As friends, both of them were on the same level, but one of them voluntarily became a student of the other. Krishna was smiling because a friend had chosen to become a disciple. Yes, as Lord of all, he is always in the superior position as the master of everyone. And yet, the Lord accepts one who wishes to be a friend, a son, a lover, or a devotee, or who wants him in such a role. But when he was accepted as the master, he at once assumed the role and talked with the disciple like master with gravity, as it is required. It appears that the talk between the master and the disciple was openly exchanged in the presence of both armies, so that all were benefited. So the talk of Bhagavad Gita are not for any one particular person, society, or community, but they are for all, and friends or enemies are equally entitled to hear them. Okay, so this is where we are. Krishna is now accepting the position of a guru to Arjuna. And in the next verses, from verses 11 to verse 30, from verse 11 to 30, Krishna is going to start instructing Arjuna. This is the beginning of Krishna's direct instructions to Arjuna. So we see what is next. Verse 11. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Asocyam Amvasosyastvam Pragyam Vadamscha Vasase Gatasum Agatasumscha Nanuso Chanti Panditaha. The blessed Lord said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Yes. Now, having accepted Arjuna's surrender, Krishna immediately chastises his students. He chastises his students. That he tells Arjuna that although he spoke with the authority of a wise man, he's lamenting about something which no wise man will lament for. In essence, he's calling Arjuna a fool. Say, you are a fool. You are lamenting for what is not worthy of grief. Why? Although Arjuna's words are true according to Dharma or Rajaniti, in statesmanship, they do not take into consideration the true basic standard of knowledge, the difference between the body and the soul. So Arjuna was talking on the bodily platform. Arjuna was talking on the bodily platform. So even though what he was saying was true on the ordinary level, but when you consider the soul, it becomes like a joke. So Krishna is now trying to take him beyond. Because earlier, when Krishna was inciting him to fight, Arjuna told him that you are telling me Niti Sastra. This particular Artha Sastra is the art of fighting. What a soldier will benefit if he die on the battle. He said, but Dharma Sastra, Dharma, religious principles that are higher than Artha Sastra, because there you were fighting with your enemies, you killed them. But my own relatives, my friends, my teachers, my grandfather are standing before me, and you are telling me to fight. Dharma Sastra doesn't allow this. Even to insult, Babale insult, argue with an elder, it's not acceptable. How much more shooting them with arrows? I will not fight. You fought with your enemies, but you did not fight with your own spiritual master. And you are telling me to fight. So Krishna is now telling him that that is true. But see, higher than that true is Jnana Sastra. Therefore, now Krishna wants to take him to the soul platform now. However learned a man is in this material world, his knowledge is like that of a dwarf, knowledge of a dwarf, when you start telling him about the soul. As long as the man is ignorant about the identity of the soul, he doesn't know his real identity, then that knowledge, however high it is just little knowledge, very little. It's not anything. So Krishna is going to take him beyond, the bodily platform now. So the next 20 verses or 19 verses, they are all going to emphasize on the difference between the body and the soul. The philosophy of Krishna consciousness actually begins, I am not this body, I'm a spirit soul. So this is what the guru is, not a friend again. Now Krishna has accepted being a guru to Arjuna. The guru wants to tell his disciple about the difference between the body and the soul. Therefore, if truly the soul is different from the body, all these lamentations based on bodily relationships are completely waste of time and energy. So this is what we are going to hear. So we should go further now. Let's go further. In the next verse, verse 12, Krishna is speaking further. Natu evaham jatu nasam, natuam neme jana dipaha, na chaiva nababi syamaha, sarve bayam atara param. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Yes. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings. In other words, we are all not these bodies. We are all spirit souls. In the past, I was Krishna. In the present, I'm Krishna. In the future, I continue to be Krishna. In the past, you were Arjuna. Now you are Arjuna. In the future, you are still going to be Arjuna. Bhishma was Bhishma. He has been a spirit soul wearing a garment like any of us. So Bhishma has a physical body. He has a subtle body. And his real identity is that he's a soul who is Bhishma, living inside the bodily garment. This is true for everybody. All the kings that have gathered to fight, they are all spirit souls. They are not these bodies. So if you fight and kill the body, it's a matter of you are changing the dress. You are changing the dress. And Krishna used different analogies and different powerful statements, aphorisms, to encapsulate these points. And this is the subject matter of the text between 11 and verse 30. So you can see clearly. Krishna is saying, in the past I was Krishna, in the present I am Krishna, and in the future I will be Krishna. In the past you existed, in the present you exist, and in the future you exist. All these kings assembled here to fight were all individuals in the past, are individuals in the present, and will be individual in the future. In other words, we are all eternally spiritual individuals. So spirituality and individuality are established in this next series of verses. Spirituality plus individuality. In this verse, Krishna immediately defeats the Mayavada concept, or the oneness of the supreme and the living entity. That is one aspect of it. But the Mayavadi philosophers do not believe in individuality. That after death, you merge into the supreme soul. So your individuality is stopped. But Krishna is trying to defeat Arjuna's first argument for not fighting, and is now extending it to defeat the Mayavadi philosophers. Also that individuality exists before, now, and in the future. So we are all individual spirit souls, as against the Mayavadi philosophy that we are individuals now, but after that we lose our individuality and we merge into the supreme, and we have no existence anymore. So this is the purpose of this verse. Okay, so that is it. Now the next verse. The purpose is very rich. You can read it. It's very rich. Spirituality and individuality are established. Spirituality plus individuality are established. So, and this is the topic from verse 11 on the screen. I think you can see the screen. From verse 11 to 30, Krishna is going to establish Jnana Yoga. What is that Jnana? What is that knowledge? Knowledge about this individual spirit soul as beyond the physical body. We are not these bodies, we are spirit souls. This is the philosophy. And you can see the picture here. From childhood to boyhood to youth, the body is changing, but the soul actually never changes. So this is the theme or this particular aspect of the Gita we are going to deal with today. So this is the real philosophy of Krishna consciousness starting now. Bhagavan Sri Krishna has started speaking. So in the verse 13, this is a memorization verse also. So we can read it together. Where is it? Daino asmi yata de Komaram Yovanam Jara Tata Dehantara Prapti Diras Tatrana Muyate. And this is the picture on the screen. In the PowerPoint, this is the picture. Translation. As the embodied soul continually passes in this body, from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. That the self-realized soul is not withered by such a change. Arjuna, you are not self-realized. At this point, you are not self-realized. You do not know your real identity. You are thinking you are the body. This is called the Hambara Vatikesu. You are in the bodily business. The body and bodily extensions, you are attached to them. And as long as this attachment is there, there is bewilderment. So I want to take you beyond this bewilderment. You are talking like a learned man, but you forgot that you are a spirit soul who is living in the body. I am going to open your eyes to see this. That you are not this body, but you are a spirit soul. And as long as you are a spirit soul, the spirit by nature does not die. It's individual now. It was individual in the past. It will be individual in the future. You never die. You are a spirit soul who never dies. So why are you talking yourself as if you are the body? Eh? You can see the foolery. You meet a learned man on the street, he's talking on the bodily power. You can let him realize that he's not very intelligent because he's thinking that it's the body. Even a new Bhakti, somebody who comes for the first time in ISKCON, who attend class for once, he can defeat a very great philosopher who doesn't know the difference between the body and the soul. Even Nanda Kumara can defeat, Nanda Kumara Prabhu can defeat any great professor who doesn't know that it's a spirit soul. Yes, as long as he's thinking that it's this body and the bodily extension and the degrees he holds, you can defeat him. Just take him beyond the body. Baba, you are not this body, you are a spirit soul. Then you quote this verse. Then he knows me. That means as the embodied soul continuously passes from the in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not ruled by soul. Quote this verse. Just quote this verse for the person. Even if it's a professor emeritus, quote this verse for him, and you will see him fumbling, respecting you instantly. So this is it. This is called Jnana Yoga. When we say Jnana Yoga, this is Jnana Yoga. And immediately Krishna will take Arjuna beyond the body. And Arjuna will realize that actually what Krishna is saying is true. He was talking like a learned man, but it's actually fool number one. We accept it. Okay? So you can see this on the screen. This was Atha Sastra. This is Dharma Sastra. This is Jnana Sastra. Atha Sastra is the science of military rule. If you fight and die in the battlefield, you go to heaven and you have to get the kingdom to rule as a king. It's true. But higher than Atha Sastra is Dharma Sastra, which Arjuna used successfully to counter Krishna. And you are talking of Atha Sastra, but Dharma Sastra is higher than Atha Sastra. So why are you telling me to kill my father, my grandfather, my teacher? You did not kill your grandfather and your teacher. Did you? You only killed your enemy. You only killed your enemies. But now you are telling me to kill my grandfather and my... No. I will not do it. I will not fight. I will not fight. I will not do this. Thereby, there will be sinful reactions waiting for me. Then now Krishna said, oh, you are talking like a learned man, but you are fool number one. Now I'm your guru. Listen to me. Jnana Sastra is higher than Dharma Sastra. In Jnana Sastra, all the bodily and bodily considerations, you clear them and pack them aside. You keep them aside because you are not this body, you are a spirit soul. So you have not started, you have not said anything. You are a spirit soul. You have been talking about the body, you're talking about the garments. You are the wearer of the garments. So you have not started in the first place. So let us start now. So it took him beyond the body. And this is where we are. This is called Jnana Sastra. You are not this body. You are a spirit soul. Very high philosophy. You are not this body. You are a spirit soul. And that we are all individuals. So individuality exists before. You are individual in the present. You are still going to be individuals after changing the body. After removing the clothes, you still remain the same person. So, sorry, Baba, you are talking on the bodily platform. Let us go beyond. Our real identity is that we are spirit souls. So let us talk on that platform. And you understand what I'm saying. You are talking like a learned man, but you are actually fool number one. I will educate you. So the spiritual master is very strong on his disciples, okay? As a matter of establishing the truth. So he called this verse that in response to Arjuna's balking at killing Bhishma and Drona, Krishna has assured Arjuna that Bhishma and Drona are both souls and cannot die. The soul cannot die. Death is simply a change of body. Every embodied soul must endure it. Therefore, Bhishma passed through the stages of boyhood, youth, and now he has gone to the stage of old age. And already, old body must fall. And when you have old body full of pains, When the body is old, it is full of pains, full of aches. Neck ache, back ache, stomach ache, waist ache, ankle aches, knee aches. So when you get a fresh body, young and fresh, energetic body, are you not going to be happier as a soul in a younger body? Definitely, Bismarck will be happier when you get a different body. Because he's a pious man, he will get the body in a very high dimension. And that body will be a youthful body, where he can do so many things that he cannot do with the old body now. So why are you telling me that he himself is not going to like it? This change of body, Bismarck will like it. Drona will like it. It is for his benefit. He will enjoy it. So why are you talking as if you don't know that you are not this body, his spirit soul? So he said, look, he has already changed bodies many times. Like you and me. You have changed your childhood body. Nanda Kumara, your body as a child, where is it now? Raganunga Prabhu, your body as a child, where is it now? Bhakti Lawson, your body as a child, 5-year-old boy, where is it now? Was that body having BS? That body has changed. You got a boyhood body where you are playing football, are very energetic, so many things. But that time there was no BS. Now there is BS now. That means that body has also changed. So we have been changing bodies. And now we are getting to older bodies that are full of troubles. So if there's opportunity for me to change this body, under the direction of Krishna and get a fresh body, you think I will not like it? If I get a young body now, I will like it. Because this old body is full of pains. So this is the philosophy that Krishna has given. A wise man is not bewildered by these bodily changes. Neither does he lament for them, because such lamentation is based on illusion. Okay, you're getting it? This philosophy is very important. This aspect of the Gita is so important because this is the foundation. This is the foundation of our philosophy. So we are taking time to deal with this foundation very well, so that when we build on a solid foundation, it will go on rapidly. The history of Maharaj Yayati, for instance, there was the history of Maharaj Yayati. Maharaj Yayati was a king. After growing old, Maharaj Yayati traded his old age for his son's youth. There is a whole story about it. Upon his obtaining a youthful body, no one lamented that the king had relinquished his old body. When you get a fresh young body, no one will lament that you have lost your old body. When you buy a new cloth, you will not lament that you have thrown away the old one. Will you? If your cloth is very old now and you get a new one, will you lament that you have thrown away the old one? No, you will not lament. So why are you lamenting now? It's because you don't know that the body is just a garment. That's why you are lamenting. Okay? So do not lament. Yes. Why lament if Bhishma and Drona take on new young bodies? Why should we lament? Huh? If Drona and Bhishma, by my arrangement, are going to get new bodies, why should you lament for that? Huh? When you get new something, you have more energy, even phones. When you throw away old ones and you get new ones, do you lament? There is no cause for lamentation. So when Maharaj Yayati got a youthful body, did he lament? He was able to do the things that the old body could not do. Therefore, it's a source of joy to the person who is changing the body. So who are you to lament? Okay, what are you lamenting for? So a sober person, a Dira, is not bewildered by such a change. This is the philosophy. According to both Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur and Srila Baladev Vijayabhushana, Arjuna agrees with Krishna that Bhishma and Drona will be better off in younger bodies. But Arjuna explains that his reluctance, even at that, he was still having a reluctance. Arjuna's reluctance to fight is due to his current relationship with them. He has a relationship with them. Even though true that they are going to change bodies, that's like when your relative leaves the body, even as a devotee, you are not really lamenting, but because of the relationship you have built with the person, there is some kind of reluctance to accept what has happened. Therefore, Krishna said you should tolerate that kind of feeling. You should tolerate it. Tolerate it. Okay? You should tolerate it. One may say, by connection with the self, even one's body becomes an object of affection. By a connection with one's body, one's children, siblings, and so on also become very dear to him. Okay? So when they are destroyed, one naturally experiences unhappiness. When your relatives die, you feel some unhappiness naturally. This objection is answered by the verse beginning, Dehinaha. The jiva, who is the possessor of the body, reaches the stage of childhood. When that boyhood is then destroyed, he reaches youth. And when his youth is destroyed, he reaches old age. In the same way, one attains another body at death. The old body is destroyed. So what is the cause for lamentation? So just as one doesn't lament when his stages of childhood and youth have been destroyed, even though they are objects of his affection, similarly, one should not lament when his body is destroyed, even though it is an object of affection, because of his connection with the self. So someone may counterclaim that there is indeed unhappiness when one's youth is destroyed and one reaches old age. But in response, we can say that one rejoices when his childhood is destroyed and he reaches youth. Thus, we should rejoice that Bhishma, Drona, and others are going to receive new bodies after their old and useless ones are destroyed. Or else, we may say that just as one person in the same body achieves all the stages beginning with childhood, similarly, the same one jiva who possesses bodies obtains a whole series of bodies: childhood body, youth body, old body, and at death, he relinquishes the old body and he's going to get a new, fresh body, vigorous body. So why should he lament? Why? There is no cause for lamentation. Yes, because only the body changes. So this is where we are. Then Srila Baladev Vijayabhushana made a comment on this, that one may say, although the soul who are now conditioned to the body of Bhishma and so on are eternal, it is natural that there be sorrow upon the destruction of their bodies, which were the facilities for their enjoyment. The answer is as follows. With the destruction of the decrepit bodies, with the destruction of the old invalid bodies with full of pains, deteriorating bodies, whereby the teeth are falling, that you cannot chew things properly, that you can only now drink liquids. Relinquishing such old body and getting a new one is a source of joy, not a source of lamentation. When you relinquish an old painful body, do you lament? Should you lament? It should be a source of joy because the new body you have is full of vigor, vitality, and energy. So why this lamentation? Where is it coming from? That should be a cause for rejoicing, just as was Yayati regaining his youth. Okay? So Krishna's reply to this specific hesitancy of Arjuna is text 14. So in text 14, we see Krishna reacting to this hesitancy. So let's read text 14 and see what is there. Sorry, I'm dealing with different gadgets. Verse 14. Verse 14 of the Bhagavad Gita. Matras parsas tu kunteya, sitos na sukadu kada, agama paino nityams, tams titiksha bharata. So even though that is there, O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, ocean of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. One must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So Krishna instructs Arjuna not to lament, okay, but to tolerate. He's feeling pain because of his relationship with the bodies of these personalities. So
Please continue to share the screen now.
Huh?
Your screen, you are no more sharing it, please.
That is there. What do you want to see?
Okay, I can now see. Hare Krishna.
You can see, look at the screen and look at yourself. Each of you know where you are. Me, I know where I am. I know where I am. Beyond where I am is terrible. Where I am now, if I go beyond, Babu, it's undesirable. So many things will happen. It will be full of pains, Babu. But because I'm still managing to use it in Krishna consciousness, I still maintain it. Understand? So tell me, if you look at this point, if you cross beyond this point, Babu, you start experiencing so much pain. If you cross this point, you start experiencing so much pain. So much pain. If you cross beyond that point, you start experiencing so much pain. If you cross beyond this point, you start experiencing so much pain. If you cross beyond here, all your beards will grow white. If you reach here, all your beards will grow white. So as I'm here now, I'm seeing many white beards coming. That is one of the reasons why I always remove the beards. Because the white ones are reminding me of this next stage. This next stage, I don't like it. Because the pains are so much. And what to talk of this stage? The pains are going to be so much. So if Krishna arranges to change your body when it is at this stage, so that it will give you a new, fresh body, and as a devotee in a better planet, like a Drona and Bhishma, because definitely they will attain higher destination. So why should Arjuna lament? This is the question. Do not lament. So the feeling you're having, tolerate it. You can read the purport for yourself and you will see how sweet it is. Tolerate it. Okay? Tolerate. So Krishna instructs Arjuna not to lament, but to tolerate. Arjuna should not forsake his duty because of the temporary pains and pleasure that arise, which are like the seasonal changes. So he should tolerate that bodily relationship. It is painful though, but he has to tolerate. Okay? So the next verse, continuation. Yam hina vyatayantyete purusham purusasava samaduka sukadiram so amrita tvaya kalpate. Oh, best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Is certainly eligible for liberation. Aswini Kumara Prabhu, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm just seeing you for the first time. So can you please look at the screen? Look at the screen. Are you seeing the screen?
Prabhu, I'm seeing you.
See where you are now on the screen. Where are you?
Prabhu. Hello. Prabhu. Prabhu.
Beyond
Is there any problem?
Christian Prabhu, your let me freezing now.
Okay. It's freezing.
Yes, please. I think so.
I'm sorry.
Not from your end, from Prabhu Chaitanya Prema's end.
Hello.
Christian Prabhu, you should wait for him. He left. He will come back. Okay, it's now back. But Prabhu, unfortunately, we are no more the host too. The hosts have been passed on to me. So
Anybody can talk and be the host. We just want to benefit.
Huh? So if that is the case, that means you will not.
Hello?
Again. If I'm not the host, you cannot see my screen again. So my Madhusneha Prabhu.
oh. Yeah, Arjuna Prabhu, I was trying to pass it on back to you, but unfortunately, I pass it to Ramachandra Prabhu. So if you can do so for us.
Bhakti, please try and then transfer the host to Prabhu, and so that we can.
Yeah, I was trying to.
Okay. I think it's because Prabhu's network is bad. That is why we were not able to transfer to him. So I don't know if Ramachandra Prabhu can also, yes. Yeah. Ramachandra Prabhu can also transfer to him also.
Okay.
I think he has left the listing again. So let's wait for him to come back. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So we are not the body, we are spirit souls, right? Hare Krishna. This is wonderful. So no matter how you should be able to tolerate.
We are spirit souls. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Prabhu, but just that your network is freezing.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Prabhu, but just that your network is freezing.
Okay, but what can I do about it? Nothing I can do, so we manage it. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, go ahead, we can hear you.
Hare Krishna. Huh?
Prabhu, we can hear
you
now,
continue?
You can go ahead. Okay, yes, please, we can hear you now.
So it's like we have to be going fast if that is the case, because
yes, Prabhu, we hear you.
Hello. Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Please, if the network is very bad, can you kindly switch off your video so that we can be listening to your audio? Yes.
Okay. That's a good suggestion. Hare Krishna, can you hear me now?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, we can hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Prabhu, you can continue.
Okay, now my video is off. Let me carry on. Let's go to verse 16. I really don't want to stop this class today like yesterday. Let's go to verse 16. Nasato vidyate babu, na babu vidyate sata, ubayo apitris to antas, to anayos tatwadas. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, there is no endurance, and of the existent, there is no cessation. These seers have concluded by studying the nature of both. This is the purport I will want us to read. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There is no endurance of the changing body, that the body is changing every moment by the actions and reactions of the different cells is admitted by modern medical science, and thus growth and old age are taking place in the body. But the spirit soul exists same despite all changes in the body and the mind. That is the difference between matter and spirit. By nature, the body is ever changing and the soul is eternal. This conclusion is established by all classes of seers of the truth, both impersonalists and personalists. In the Vishnu Purana, it is stated that Vishnu and his abodes all have self-illuminated spiritual existence. Jyotish means Vishnu, Bhavana means Vishnu. The words existent and non-existent refer only to the spirit and matter. That is the version of all seers of truth. This is the beginning of the instruction by the Lord to the living entities who are bewildered by the influence of ignorance. The removal of ignorance involves re-establishment of the eternal relationship between the worshipper and the worshipped, and the consequent understanding of the difference between the part and parcel living entities and the supreme personality of God. One can understand the nature of the supreme by thorough study of oneself. The difference between oneself and the supreme being understood as the relationship between the part and the whole. In the Vedanta Sutras, as well as in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the supreme has been accepted as the origin of all emanations. Such emanations are experienced by superior, inferior natural consequences. The living entity belongs to the superior nature, as it will be revealed in the 17th chapter. Although there is no difference between the energy and the energetic is accepted as the supreme, and the energy or nature is accepted as the subordinate. The living entities, therefore, are always subordinate to the Supreme Lord, as in the case of the master and the servant, or the teacher and the taught. Such clear knowledge is impossible to understand under the spell of ignorance, and to drive away such ignorance. And the Lord teaches Bhagavad Gita for the enlightenment of the living entities for all time. So you can get this, a very beautiful verse that everyone should try to memorize. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. The body is always dead. Right now, it appears to be alive because the soul is inside the body. As soon as the soul leaves the body, the real nature of the body is exposed. It is dead body. I always use the example of a trouser and a shirt. A shirt appears to be having two hands because the body has two hands. The shirt is made in the shape of the body. The trouser is made in the shape of the body. So when the person is moving, the trouser appears to be moving. Huh? Your trouser has two legs because the wearer of the trouser has two legs. So when he wears it and he starts moving, huh? The trouser appears to be moving, toying. But the trouser is actually dead. It appears to be moving because the wearer is moving. So similarly, the body appears to be alive because the soul proper, the soul is inside the body. The soul is the source of consciousness. Once the soul leaves the body is, the hands are there, the legs are there, the fingers are there, but they cannot do anything anymore. Therefore, the seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, which is the non-existent in this case? Somebody should say something. Which is the non-existent in this case?
The material body.
The material body is the non-existent. And which is the existent?
The soul.
The soul.
The soul. You believe it? Why are you looking on that side? If you say you believe it. The spirit soul is the existent, while the material body is the non-existent. So the seers of the truth, those who see beyond the bodily platform. Now Krishna, seeing and telling Arjuna, educating Arjuna, knows that the soul is eternal while the body is temporary. This is the relationship. So do not lament for the temporary material body. This is the lesson here. Okay? This verse refers to Krishna's second point. Now, Bhavo Vijate Sataha. In chapter 16, Krishna here explains the body-soul duality. After his brief explanation here, he will not mention this most basic point again in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna explained his first point. Na sato vijate bhavo in text 18. In text 18. Na sato vijate bhavo. So please let us get this one clearly, that this session between text 11 to text 30, Krishna is saying, armed with Jnana Yoga, fight. Arjuna, armed with Jnana Yoga, fight. This is what Krishna is telling you. That in Jnana Yoga, you realize that you are not this body, but you are a spirit soul. So what dies at the battlefield of Kurukshetra is the body. So the body, which is already naturally has died many times in the form of from childhood, progressing to boyhood, to youth, to old age, it will finally fall. And at the point of old age, because it is full of pains, it's a thing of joy to the occupant of the body. As much as when Yayati was given the body of youth, did he lament? He enjoyed it. He was very happy when he got the body of youth. He had to exchange his old age. But when you get old body, it is just full of pains. So to change that body is a source of joy for the owner of the body. So do not lament. Verse 18. Verse 18. Please read the purport of verse 17 very nicely and try to get all the points. Verse 18. Antabanta imedeha nityas yokta saririna anasino prameyasya tasman judya swabarata. Antabanta imedeha nityas yokta saririna anasino prameyasya tasman judya swabarata. Only the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is subject to destruction. Therefore, fight, O descendant of man. You got it? Only the body. the Saririna, but the Deha itself, Antabanta, the Deha is Antabanta. The Deha is Antabanta. The body is never endures, it's destructible. But the Dehi is Nitya Saririna. Yes. Nityasya, eternal. The Dehi is Nityasya in existence, is eternal in existence. The Dehi is eternal. But Saririna, the embodied soul, Saririna is the Dehi, is eternal. Okay? But his house, the body, is temporary. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata. Armed with knowledge, fight. This is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. This verse reverses Arjuna's argument that by not fighting, he will save his family members from harm. Everyone's body must perish. Everyone's body must perish. That is a fact. For no material body has true existence. They have no true existence because once the soul lives, it reveals its real nature. So fearing for the death of others is ignorance. Fearing that somebody is going to die, I'm killing somebody in the battlefield, is ignorance because time has already killed them. Like in this case, Krishna wants you to take the glory by changing their dress and giving them a new body so that they can be happy. The soul, the real person within the body, is indestructible. Srila Prabhupada writes, so from both viewpoints, there is no cause of lamentation because the living entity as he is cannot be killed, nor can the material body be saved from any length of time and permanently protected. The body cannot be permanently protected. No matter the arrangement you make, this body cannot be permanently protected. No matter the arrangement, you cannot stop anyone from leaving the body. Everyone who has taken a physical body must leave the body. Nor can the soul be killed. The soul cannot be killed. The body cannot survive. Of the non-existence, there is no endurance. The body, nobody can save the body. But of the existent, which is the soul, there is no cessation. No one can kill the soul. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, do not lament. Armed with the knowledge of the soul, get up, stand up, pick your Gandiva bow, stand and fight, O Arjuna. This is the meaning. Get up and fight, do your duty. You are not to renounce and go to the forest. Armed with Jnana Yoga, fight. This is it. So, verse 19. Ya enam veti hantaram, ya chainam mayate hatam, ubau tau nabijanto, nayam anti nahayate. He who thinks that living entity is a slayer or that he is slain does not understand. One who is in knowledge knows that the self slays not, nor is slain. Yes. Read the purpose, it is rich. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur comments that the self is neither the subject of the act of killing nor its object. The self, that means the soul, cannot be held responsible for all the happenings here. That is the meaning. He who thinks that the soul is the killer, that Arjuna is killing Bhishma and others, and he who thinks that the soul is killed, that Bhishma and others have been killed by Arjuna, they are both ignorant. No one can truly kill or be killed. Krishna elaborates on this point in the next verse. Okay, the soul is not a killer. So Let's see verse 20. This is a memorization verse. It's a very key verse. Every devotee should know this verse. So we can recite the verse together. Nayate mriyate bakadashi nayam bhutva bhavita napuja ajo nitya yate ayamane sarige na jayate mriyate bakadashi nayam bhutva bhavita napuja ajo Purano no it's very sweet, isn't it? For the soul, there is never birth nor death. Nor having once been, does not ever existing, dying and forever. Is not slain when the body is slain. Okay? Never birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and forever. He is not slain when the body is slain. So these are some characteristics of the soul. Okay? My dear brothers and sisters, you should smile because you are not this body, but you are a soul. You should be happy now, right now. You should be smiling. You should smile to yourself that you are not this body, but you are a soul. So you cannot be killed. Okay? Know this very deeply. You cannot be killed. Krishna clearly delineates the eternality of the soul. Na jayate mriyate. The soul is not born and it never dies. The soul is ajar. It is unborn in the past, present, or future. And saswataha, the soul is deathless. The soul never dies. Yes. Again, Arjuna's fear of killing his guru is defeated. In this way, Krishna continues to dismantle Arjuna's argument against fighting. In this way, Krishna continues to dismantle Arjuna's argument against fighting. In other words, Krishna is saying, Arjuna, armed with Jnana Yoga, armed with knowledge of the soul, get up and fight. You are not the killer. The soul cannot be killed. And you cannot kill. It is time that has already killed everything. Hare Krishna. So that is it. Krishna is blessing people like anything here. Oh, wow. So this verse is very sweet. It's one of the memorization verse. So take it very seriously. It's a sweet verse. In fact, every serious devotee should discover this verse by himself and be chanting it. If you are thoroughly convinced about this characteristics of the soul, and you know that you are a soul, you are not the body, your trust, your confidence, in existence, in devotional service will be boosted. You will never die. You never die. You never lose anything. Even at death, at the point of the body is dying, you don't lose anything. Your devotional treasure continues eternally. So take it. Hare Krishna. Text 21. Vedavina sinam nityam ya enam ajam avyayam katam sa purusa pata kam gatayati hantikam. Translation. Oh, Patra, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, unborn, eternal, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? My dear disciple, how can you think like this? He's still slapping Arjuna. Krishna is still slapping Arjuna verbally, delivering verbal slaps. You consider yourself learned, but you are fool number one. How can you, even after knowing that you are not in this body, you are a spirit soul, how can you think that you kill or you can be killed? You are eternal. So all these your arguments against not fighting, they are all on the bodily platform. The Atma Buddhi, the Atma Buddhi, the Hambara Vatikesu, Janesu, the Hambara Vatikesu. That is it. Janesu, the Hambara Vatikesu. I hope because the network is not steady, so I have to off my video to see. So this is it. You are not this body, this beautiful body you love so much. You are not this body. Okay. That's low. Okay. Off. Hare Krishna. Are we there together?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. So, oh Pata, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? So, Krishna here offers Arjuna what is called Jnana, knowledge, Divya Gyan, Atma Gyan. The subject matter is Atma Tattva, Atma Tattva, Atma Gyan, knowledge about the self. This is what Krishna is giving to. If you are equipped with knowledge of your real identity, Prabhu, all the illusions related to the body and the bodily extension will vanish. Focus on your real identity as a soul, and with that yardstick, measure everything that comes your way. You will see that all the illusions arising from the body and the bodily extensions will vanish in next to no time. This is a powerful test tube to insert all your vision into. Okay, so Krishna here offers what is called Gyan or knowledge. With this knowledge, he can engage in warfare, yet incur no sinful reactions. Srila Prabhupada described why Arjuna should fight. Although the justice of a peace awards capital punishment to a person condemned for murder, the justice of the peace cannot be blamed because he orders violence to another person according to the codes of justice. Similarly, when Krishna orders fighting, it must be concluded that violence is for supreme justice, and thus Arjuna should follow the instruction, to follow Krishna's instructions, knowing well that such violence committed in the act of fighting for Krishna is not violence at all, because at any rate, the man, or rather the soul, cannot be killed. So for the administration of justice, so-called violence is permitted. So-called, because it's like a drama. The people are already killed. All the people on the battlefield are already killed. Okay? All the people on the battlefield are already finished. They are already killed. Today we stop at verse 30, okay? So we will not go too far. Very soon we stop. Very soon we stop. Okay? You cannot be killed. Thus, Arjuna's reasoning is once more defeated. Okay, neither can. Which verse are we? Verse 22, huh? Verse 22.
Yes, Prabhu.
Verse 22. Let's read it.
Yes.
Vasamsi jinani yata vihaya navani grinanti naro parani tata sarirani vidaya jinani ariani samyati navani dei. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, similarly, the soul accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless one. So this is it. So that means change your body. So it's a source of joy to the person who is changing the body. Because after all, the old body full of pains. It's full of pains. Changing bodies is inevitable. Again, Arjuna's refusal to fight will not protect Bhishma, Drona, or anyone else on the battlefield from having to change bodies. Thus, Arjuna's reasoning is once more defeated by Krishna. Arjuna's reasoning is one more defeated by Krishna. Okay? Again, listen. Changing bodies is inevitable. Get it deep. Changing bodies is inevitable. Again, Arjuna's refusal to fight will not protect Bhishma, Drona, or anyone else on the battlefield from having to change their bodies, because their bodies have already been changed. Krishna is time. By time, everybody is changing bodies. Since the time you took this body, you have experienced so many change of bodies, both of close relatives, extended relatives, friends, and even people you don't know in your community. People have been changing bodies. Presidents have been changing bodies. Prime ministers have been changing bodies. The business tycoon have been changing bodies. The scientists have been changing bodies. The alchemists, the farmers, the taxi drivers have been changing bodies. The powerful businessman that has 10 shops in 10 cities have been changing bodies. Presidents of powerful nations, even America, have been changing bodies. Americans have been changing bodies. Indians have been changing bodies. Europeans have been changing bodies. Africans have been changing bodies from time immemorial. So change of body is inevitable. So Arjuna's argument cannot stop Drona and Bhishma's body being changed, because their bodies have already been changed by time. Time is the one in charge, and that time is Krishna. So what is the cause for lamentation? Get up and fight. Get up and fight, Arjuna. Command you, get up and fight. That's what Krishna is saying. And Krishna is smiling as he's saying this, because Arjuna thought he was very intelligent, very clever, but Krishna is diffusing all that cleverness. So verse 23. Nainam chidanti sasrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayanti apo, na society marutaha. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor can he be burnt by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. See, don't be surprised that my translation is a bit different from yours. You must be wondering about that. The reason is that I'm reading from Prabhupada's original Bhagavad Gita. And I also have the one that is being edited. So the one I'm reading now is from the original Bhagavad Gita. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor can it be burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. But the edited one is like this. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. This one is exactly the same. But in many other texts, there's a little bit of difference. So bear with us. Okay, Arjuna is a great Kshatriya, and he has an arsenal of powerful weapons. Although he has, a very, although he has a hard-tempered sword, powerful one. That sword cannot cut the soul. Gandiva bow cannot cut the soul. Arjuna's Gandiva bow, powerful as it is, it can only destroy the physical body, it cannot cut the soul. So it should not be feared by one who is self-realized. Gandiva bow is not a source of threat to one who is self-realized. Okay? Okay? Although it possesses a fire weapon, that fire cannot burn the soul. Arjuna possesses all kinds of aspects, both from Indra, both from Lord Shiva and from other powerful personalities, they can never do anything to the soul. Neither can his water weapon inundate it, nor his wind weapon without the eternal soul. You know, when Arjuna fought with the Kuravas on behalf of Uttara Kumara, when they were in disguise the last year, the Kuravas detected that they were hiding in that town. So they went to attack them so that if they are there, they will bring them out. And now they will send them for another 13 years. Not knowing that the 13 years have already elapsed. So Arjuna came out, and when he dealt with them, he defeated all the generals, including Bhishma and Drona, one by one. And at last, after cutting all their weapons to pieces, destroying their horses, he shot a weapon into the sky, and it went in and turned into serious dense cloud and came down. And everybody started, before he realized that everybody, including Bhishma and Drona, were lying down on the unconscious. And Arjuna went, he took they removed all their upper garments, all their chadas, gathered them, plus the Arjuna caught them and go and give as his addiction to Uttara. Who was it? Yeah, it's Uttara, yes. Because Uttara was the junior sister of Uttara Kumara, the prince. So Arjuna later married her. He gave them a darshan. So all those weapons, they can only destroy physical things. At once, they can destroy the physical body, but they cannot destroy the soul. Okay? So the soul is very, very powerful. It is indestructible. This is what Krishna is establishing here. Cannot be withered by the wind. How did he say? The individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble and can be neither burnt nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. That is verse 24, isn't it? Verse 24. Ashedioyam, Adayoyam, Akledio, Sosia Evacha, Nitya Sarvagataha, Stanu, Achaloyam, Sanatana. And it means that this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can I say something?
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, Uttara is Arjuna's son wife. Arjuna
Okay.
Abhimanyu's
Uttara
Uttara's wife.
It's not Arjuna's wife. Uttara is Abhimanyu's wife.
No. Uttara is Abhimanyu's wife.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
You. Yeah, please take it clear. Uttara is Abhimanyu's wife, Arjuna's wife. After Arjuna performed that feat, they arranged for his own son to marry the Uttara. Okay, thank you very much. Very sharp correction. So, verse 24. This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble and can be neither born nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. Verse 25. Thank you very much. Aviatonyam, Achitoyam, Avikarioyam, Kushate, Tasman, Evam Vidi, Twainam, Nanuso Shitumarasi. It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, immutable, and unchangeable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. Okay? So, these locals, they reiterate the principle Krishna has already established, that generally such repetition is considered improper in Sanskrit literature. But Krishna repeats himself to remove all doubts about the soul's eternality. So Krishna now begins offering another argument to convince Arjuna to take part in the battle. Verse 26 starts with the word ata, cha. If, however, ata, if, cha, however, which indicates that Krishna will now begin to discuss a new topic. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur explains Krishna's thinking. I have thus far explained things to you from the viewpoint of Sastri. Now I will explain them from the worldly point of view. Okay? Though it appears that I ended there, but these next 3 verses or 4 verses are also in support of the same thing, but from another point of view. So if, however, that is the word there, ata, cha, if, however, you think that the soul or the symptom of life is always born and dies forever, you still have no reason to lament, Almighty aunt. Krishna first explained the soul's eternality. Okay? Now he argues on the basis of principles presented by other philosophers, namely atheists and Buddhists. Krishna does checkmates Arjuna. If all the assembled warriors are factually eternal souls, no one will die on the battlefield. Yes. And Arjuna should therefore do his duty and fight. If no soul exists and life is simply the result of a chemical combination, then still Arjuna, should do his duty and fight. If Arjuna accepts the argument for the non-existence of the soul, then he should not be afraid to fight. After all, how can he be a killer of a combination of chemicals? How can he be a killer of the combination of chemicals? If he agrees that the body has no soul, as the impersonalists and Mayavadis are saying. So why should he be afraid of destroying some bunch of chemicals that are put together? Thus, whether the soul exists or not, Arjuna should not lament, but should fight. This is what Krishna is saying. Armed with Gyan, fight. So verse 27, we move fast. We stop at verse 30. We are already at 27. So, no. Is it 27? No, I will jump, then they will. If I jump, they should catch me. If they don't catch me, I jump over. But it's the same thing, Krishna is repeating now. Jatasyahi dhruvo mritu. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Asmand aparihariye arte. Natwam soshitum arasi. For one who has taken his birth, that is certain. And for one who is dead, birth is certain. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. One who has taken his birth is sure to die. And after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Arjuna is wrong if he thinks he will stop the Kurava's death by not fighting. When the eternal soul contacts a temporary material body, birth takes place. When the eternal soul loses contact with the body, death results. This point is again explained in the next verse. So these are just to reiterate, on what has already been said. That the same principle is being explained from verse 11 to verse 30. The principle of Gyan. Krishna wants Arjuna to arm himself with the knowledge that he is not the body but the spirit soul. And therefore cannot be killed and cannot kill. And without knowledge, he should do his duty. This is the point that is being established in this stretch of verses. Okay? So verse 28. Avyaktajini bhutani Vyakta Madhyani Bharata, Avyakta Nidana Nieva, Tatraka Paridevana. All created beings are unmanifest in the beginning, in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when they are annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation? He has already finished Arjuna and he's only mopping up the floor now. He's now finished Arjuna with the philosophy. Arjuna, a friend who became a disciple. So I said, what there? All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation? Krishna has just said that Arjuna should fight whether he believes in an eternal soul possessing a material body or that no soul, only a body exists. This verse explains that whether or not we believe in the soul, the material body was previously manifested. Now, for some time, the body is manifest, and in the future, it will again become unmanifest. So the body must be annihilated. What is the use, therefore, of lamentation? Arjuna should fight regardless of what knowledge of the soul he accepts. Jnana describes the difference between the body and the soul, continues until verse 30. Verse 29 is the amazing verse. Verse 29, very amazing verse. It's called the amazing verse. Because so many amazings are there. The sloka is long. Al Chariavad Pasyati Kashid Enam. Al Chariavad Badati Tataiva Changa. Al Chariavad China Ayos Inoti. Sutwa Pienam Bedana Chaiva Kashid. Some look on the soul as amazing. Some describe him as amazing. And some hear of him as amazing. While others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. God, amazing verse. So many amazing. So he has already finished the subject matter, but he's just, polishing the whole thing together. Okay? So Acharyavat means amazing. Pasyati means sees. Badati means describes. Srinoti means hears. The first line of this verse says, Acharyavat Pasyati. Some look on the soul as amazing. The second line says, Acharyavat Badati. Some people speak about the soul as amazing. And the third line says, Acharyavat Srinoti. Some hear about the soul and think of him as amazing. In the first line of the Prabhupada's translation, some look on the soul as amazing. Acharyavat, amazing, is taken to modify soul, which is this object of the sentence. Srila Baladev Vijayabhushana has given two more interpretations, wherein the word Acharyavat additionally modifies the sentence, subject and verb. Thus, each line of this verse can be explained in the three ways, as the word for amazing changes from modifying the subject, the soul, to modifying the subject and verb. Acharyavat can modify people, the subject of the sentence. Some people who are amazing, like upon the soul, or look upon the soul. If Acharyavat modifies the verb, look, the sentence reads, some people look amazingly at the soul. So depending on how one translates this amazing verse, the people who see the soul are amazing. The soul is amazing, and the power to see the soul is amazing. The second line, some people describe the soul as amazing, can also be translated in three ways, with Badati described replacing sees. Similarly, the third line can be translated in three ways by using the words Srinoti. Yes. So anyway, verse 30 concludes these verses on Jnana armed with Jnana and fight. So let's read this verse and conclude for today. Verse 30. So on the final. So verse 30, let us read it together. Dehi nityam abadyoyam. Dehe sarvasya bharat. All this stuff. Dehi nityam abadyoyam. Dehe sarvasya bharata. Tasman sarvani bhutani. Natvam sositum arasi. Dehi nityam abadyoyam. Dehe sarvasya bharata. Tasman sarvani bhutani. Natvam sositum arasi. Yes, yes, you see you. You see you. No, let them see bodies now. Let them see big bodies now. Oh, descendant of Bharata. He who dwells in the body is eternal and can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any creation. But he said, therefore, he concludes. Krishna has told Arjuna what he wanted to tell him. He has told him, and he's now telling him what he has told him. So he concludes. Therefore, you need not grieve for any creation. Conclusion. So please let us arm ourselves with this kind of knowledge of the soul. We are all spirit souls, we are not these bodies. Then let everything else be defined accordingly. Then we'll be situated in Jnana Yoga beyond the most intelligent materialist, the greatest professor emeritus, and you will shine as a devotee. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. We thank you very much for your attendance. We have gone beyond the time a little bit, so I think it's good we will stop now so that we continue next week. Next week we expect to cover 20 verses because this particular chapter is consists of 72 verses, I think. Yes. So the verses are many, but we have reached 30. So by next weekend, we'll finish with this particular chapter. By His grace, all things being equal, including network. But it is our hope and strong desire that we finish next weekend. This most valuable verse. Actually, this particular chapter is entitled The Contents of the Gita Summarized. That is where the foundation of our philosophy is established, spoken by Krishna. So if you can just understand this chapter alone, you've understood the whole of Bhagavad Gita. So it is very important that we give time to trash it thoroughly to establish the foundation. So this is what we are trying to do. So thank you very much. We deeply appreciate your sacrifices and your presence. The Guru and Krishna continue to bless you, invigorate you, empower you, help sharpen your intelligence so that you can catch the essence of the whole thing. And having done so, you'll be covered by the grace of Krishna. Covered by the grace, there is nothing impossible for you anymore. Hare Krishna. You will become amazing. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
You will become amazing and invisible to everybody, including your enemies. You will become invisible and you will defeat everybody.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, stand and fight. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Madhusneha, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. There is a text 27 is saying that who has attacked the birth, they surely to die. Okay, it means the destination is final. I'm not sure I can believe on that.
Okay. It's
Maybe you
talking
can
referring to the material body, not the soul. It's referring to the material body. Therefore, anybody
so maybe
who
if you can explain more on that.
That is certain. Huh?
Maybe you can explain me more on that because is talking about one who has taken the birth to die, and after that, one who is called to take a birth again. Okay, and therefore is the honorable discharge of your duties.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yes.
It is like this. We are eternal spirit souls, but we are taking material bodies. Okay? As the soul, we are by nature eternal. We will not die. But the body we have taken is already dying. Actually, it's dead already, but it appears to be alive because we are in it. The soul is inside the body. So anyone that has a material body, that's why there's birth. Anywhere there's birth, there must be death. As long as there's old age, it means death is in the front. And
Yes,
better birth and death is for the body, not
we
the
can
soul.
define the destiny.
Huh?
Like who took the birth, he will die. It means that our destiny is done already.
It's the body that is destined to die, not you, the soul.
No, I'm talking in the body side only.
The body must die. It must. As long as you are in the you have taken the material body, the body must die. So birth and death in this time refers to the body and the body alone. But when the body dies, the soul continues. That's why the verse.
But who's no on that?
Huh?
Who's no on that?
That means
Soul
you
will
never
be
die.
continuing.
You don't die as a soul. You don't die at all. Only your body dies. You only change clothes.
No, I understand that all, but as a setting, I don't know the other disciple has that questions, or I'm talking on behalf of all that. Who knows that the soul will existing. After that, you don't know what going to happen, or before birth, you don't know what happened on the past life, anything. Okay. I don't know, maybe other devotees can ask that question. So I'm just asking maybe in the behalf of that or myself only. You can take it in any place. I understand that all those things. It's not like I not understand. But who knows on that? The soul will be remaining.
Yeah, the soul remains. We know you understand, but you want us to talk more on it. The soul remains. Prabhu, all your talks are coming in, so you cannot tolerate us to finish this thing again. You'll be tolerant a bit and we'll finish. Okay? Somebody is asking questions, it's critical. I need to hear and answer accordingly. That is time all of you are talking. Go on. Sorry, we are in a room. So there are other devotees. That's why. So
no problem.
Please. So the point is that it is true that we have taken bodies. All the physical body that are growing old must definitely fall. But we are not this body. Aham Brahmasmi, and this is the subject matter of this particular session of the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is now taking Arjuna beyond bodily conception, extensions of body, considerations based on this body. So he's establishing the difference between the body and the soul. The nature of the soul is diametrically opposed to that of the body. So when the body dies, actually that is not the end of our existence. The aggregate of our activities will now determine which type of body we are going to take, where we are going to take the body, under what conditions. And that we are going to come to in the later chapters about nature, enjoyer, and consciousness, chapter 14. So for now, let us make do with this understanding that we are not these bodies, we are spirit souls. That the spirit soul is by nature eternal. It cannot be burned by fire. It cannot be withered by the wind. It cannot be moistened by water. It's eternal. That's why that verse 20 is there. Najayate mriyate bakadashi mayambutu abavite vanabuja ajonitiam saswatonyam purano nahayate anyamanine sarire. The soul is never born and it never dies, but the material body is born and it dies. So understand yourself, Arjuna, that you are a soul, you are not this body. Okay? And all these bodies you are thinking that you are going to kill. You cannot kill. I have already killed them. Krishna has killed them in the form of time. It is time that take care of the material body. It is time that determines old age, disease, and death. These are all symptoms of the influence of time. So they're already dead, but I want to use you to take the glory. I want to give the glory to you. That's why I'm telling you, urging you to change their bodies. So no matter what you do, you cannot stop Bismarck from changing his body. You cannot stop Drona from changing his body or any other friend or relative. So go beyond this bodily consciousness. You are not this body, you are a soul. So that is it. The soul continues after now. Okay? And definitely Bismarck, Drona, all those powerful people, they are pious. They are going to get higher bodies in better conditions. You see, therefore, we should not lament. We should just stick to doing our duty and not be attached to the result. We give the result to Krishna. So this is the purpose of this session. Thank you very much, Madhusnya Prabhu. And thank you very much.
Okay, Krishna Prabhu.
Bhakti Omega. Yeah, your hand is up, Prabhu.
Yeah, okay, Krishna Prabhu, thank you. Yes, please. Thank you very much for your wonderful lectures, for this very deep knowledge. But Prabhu, my question here is, you see, in the material world now, you see, sometimes even a father becomes an enemy towards his son. In this case also, if a father becomes enemy towards his son to the point, let's say for instance, the case of Hiranyakashipu, whereby Prahlad is trying to do his devotional service, but the father as a demon was trying to distract him. Yeah. By him being a pure devotee is not perturbed. But here in the material world, one way or the other, you will be disturbed. So, Prabhu, in this case, for the sake of devotional service, what can we do to a father or mother or a family member which is a hindrance in our part of devotional service? And they should be killed also, or what can we do? Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, try to defeat them philosophically. That's all. Just try to defeat them philosophically. You should respect their point of view. But you should present a higher philosophy, just like how Krishna had done to Arjuna. Arjuna's arguments were very sound. If you are an ordinary material professor, you cannot defeat Arjuna. But because he didn't consider the soul, he was thinking himself to be the body. I was thinking of the bodily platform. So Krishna just took him beyond the bodily platform and dropped him and all his arguments on the material level and took him to the soul level. And it became very clear that there is so much difference between the soul and the body. Actually, it was in ignorance of the nature of the soul. So if our relatives become inimical, you should try to discuss with them and defeat them philosophically. That's all. As relatives, they will not let you. They will not let you go like that. You cannot leave them anyhow. Also, so you have to respect them, but you should be able to argue with them anytime they bring out topic. You should be able to present a higher philosophy, a higher dimension, dimension, especially equipped with this knowledge of the soul. You should be able to present it in a way that you can.
Okay. So, bro, my second question has to do with, you see, in old age, we suffer from a lot of diseases, sicknesses, and what have you. But talking about the animals, at old age, we don't see these similar things in them. In fact, it's today where that animals are being taken to hospital. But before, animals are not to be taken to hospital. But we human beings, with this higher knowledge that we have still at old age, we are suffering from diseases and sicknesses. I would like you to a bit, in fact,
Prabhu, my dear traditional man, best among the traditional speakers, Omega Bhakti. Your point is wonderful, wonderful point. But what is there is that it is true. It is true that human beings suffer more in those days. It is because of the misuse of their independence. The animals live a natural life. Understand? Naturally, the animals live by their quota. But human beings Having been given the higher intelligence, the rational faculty to discriminate between them, they misuse it. They misuse that independence. And so when they misuse it, they attract more suffering for themselves. They use their independence to attract more suffering for themselves. They don't know how to act. That's why they need to be guided on how to act. That's why Bhagavad Gita is relevant. This human body is for a purpose. And as I told you earlier, the purpose is to educate, to elevate, and to liberate. The purpose of the human body is to educate, to elevate, and to liberate. So if you do that, and you are using your body for the purpose, when the machine is used for the purpose that it is made, it attracts maximum benefit. But when it is misused, especially a high-placed machine like the human body, is misused. Because the purpose of the human body is to go back home back to God. It is equipped with all facility to go back. But when you use it for lower propensities, you implicate yourself into being electrocuted. Some violent reactions. It is those reactions that are coming at old age, and they make them to suffer so much. They use the first half of their life to destroy the second half. Whereas the animals are living according to their natural instincts. So they don't commit so much violence, they don't commit organized crimes, crimes. You see? So they have less reactions. Okay? So human beings misuse, they can even go down to animal platform. But the animals are always going up because they are following the natural design. Okay? So this human machine is a high machine. It should be used for the purpose for which it is made. And there the example is given that according to the Sabasya principle, everybody has its quota. And as long as you are acting within the confines, within the boundaries of your quota, you evolve gradually, continuously. But if you misuse, you come down. Now, for instance, when we say instinct, like they say, if a bag of rice fall on the road and you see a bird come, it will eat to its full satisfaction and leave. If any other creature comes, they take what they can take and leave. But if human being comes there, he will carry the whole bag of rice. And he will not allow the next person who is coming behind him to even get one cup. So by this misuse of higher intelligence, we degrade ourselves, we attract more sufferings to ourselves. This is what is happening, Bravo. Don't be surprised. Animals don't even need hospital. They didn't even ask for hospital. It is human beings who have become so intelligent that they do until they destroy their own terrain. Now they capture the animals, keep them in one place, and for their own selfish ends, and they are creating hospitals for the animals. Animals don't need their hospitals. But they want to keep the animals around them so that they can be killing them and eating them one by one. And therefore they are creating hospitals to take care of their body so that they can be eaten. So human being misuse of higher machine, attracting violent or corresponding reactions. Okay?
Okay,
so
Prabhu, thank you.
According to your quota.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. So hand is up. I'm seeing a hand up in YouTube. Which hand? Is it you? I'm seeing a hand up. Okay, that is Omega. Hare Krishna. I think we can stop now so that we can go for the next program. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the Islam. Oh, Dr. Lassie, you want to say something? We are not hearing you. We are not hearing you. We are not hearing you, Dr. Lassie. We are not. Is anybody hearing him?
No, please, Prabhu.
No, we can't hear him.
But the things that we are hearing him. So I think we should stop now.
Yes, Prabhu. But anyway, when are you coming back to Ghana?
Hopefully by Tuesday I'll be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
You're
thank you
always
very
welcome.
much. Thank you very much. My network here disturbed me a lot because I don't understand how the money. You can see me going violent at the beginning, fighting with all the forces. Even metaphysical forces are fighting with them physically. So, forgive me. It's to just register my frustration, you know. I was registering my frustration very serious. Thank you very much. Thank you. But somehow or the other, we have reached somewhere. So thank you very much. This commander Charya Sula AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Jai Guru Sula Prabhupada ki. Jai Chakapata Krishna Siddhya Savachapati Prabhupada. And humble obeisances at your little feet.
Oh, glories.
Thank you very much.
Grace Chaitanya Prabhu.
Jai.
Prabhu, we appreciate you so much. Thank you. Remember to kick some pressure from him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
This commander Charya Sula Prabhupada ki. Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.